Good morning, my howlers. You know who I am. I Pisako. I do witchcraft, and I write, and I draw, and I do a lot of stuff. Today I'm going to be reading from Backwoods Witchcraft by Jake Richards, Appalachian Conjure, which apparently is very related to Irish Conjure. So we will see how this progresses. Now, it's a very chunky book. It's a lot of information and not a lot of words. So I'm gonna see how far in I can get before my brain just shuts off. Hello, Christina. Hello, Debbie. And Nicole. And Heather. So good to see you guys. So good to see you. Oh, so many windows. Okay. Okay. People of Appalachia were from Ireland and Scotland. They were literal hillbillies. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. Please pardon my yawn. Looks like I'm going to need more coffee here before I actually start reading. Also, if you're looking to do some sprints, Kat and Ginny are on Twitch doing sprint times. It mentions, Nicole, if you weren't here for some of the earlier reading, it does mention that before the Cherokee got there, there were moon-eyed people. So they were blonde-haired, blue-eyed people. And I suspect they were Irish. Obviously, there was lots of combat between the Cherokee and the White Devil. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Barefoot wandering, connecting to the land. Psalms. Claiming your roots. Soup, beans, and cornbread. Okay. Just can't get comfortable, I swear. In this chapter, you will learn how to connect with the land in a down-home manner unique to this work. These teachings weren't learned or taught by the old folks. It was just what they did and how they lived that kept them close to the rhythms and seasons of these hills, often indirectly. As the Southern Highlands become more modernized with clinics and hospitals, fast food joints, and grocery stores in every town, those growing up in the city often have a blurry connection to nature. Many people today go their whole lives without digging in the soil or playing in the creeks. No longer do the cracks in the woodwork of homes need stuffing with newspaper in the winter to keep the cold out. No longer is timber needed to heat the home or boil water. As a culture, we were born from this soil, and we have traded it over to the coal and oil companies. We sold our soil, our soul, for an industrial entertainment with the hopes of a growing economy. Most may not notice, but I do. Our seasons are off. Our region-specific species of animals and plants are disappearing or leaving, and our mountains are being gutted for her coal. Noticing, observing, and knowing one's land intimately also entails protecting it. We've heard the stories and know the history that has painted these hills, but we are not the author. We are not their author. In my lifetime, I have watched countryside be taken over by strip malls and highways. I've watched hills be decimated to make way for another interstate ramp. Some of my local readers may remember the giant beech trees known as Robert Young's trees, planted by the man himself who played an important role in the Revolutionary War. Those trees have stood in Johnson City on the corner of West Market and State of Franklin since the 19th century. But as these hills become more modern, they were cut off at the knee to build something that never happened. The trees were buried and forgotten. Where 5 or 6 giant beings once stood, a grave hill was left. After a decade went by before they built the current strip mall that consists of a grocery store, a Chick-fil-A, and a Walgreens. People were outraged when the trees were cut down. Now barely anyone remembers them, let alone the one who planted them. Knowing the land and what goes on in it means knowing the spirit of the place and the people who have lived here. These hills are filled with more history than books can hold. No matter where you stand, your feet rest where someone else's did more than 200 years ago. Wherever you are, walk outside and ponder what occurred on the spot under your feet. Was someone born here? Did someone die? Maybe there was a reunion of lovers. In Appalachia, the mountains remember everything, and they'll show you how to also. As long as you listen. You may never know the names of those who walked where you do, but that connection lives on in the stones of the earth and the bones in your body. As Mama always said, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth so you could listen twice as much as you speak. Yep. Connecting with the land. Go somewhere you know well, someplace that calls to your bones and stirs your blood, whether that's a forest clearing, a pasture, a churchyard, or a mountain trail. Betwixt places such as crossroads, the place where 3 creeks meet, a river between 2 mountains, the base of a tree grown into 3, or a mountaintop are especially good spots to help you between times and places. Ponder what took place here. How many footprints do you follow? How many forgotten graves lay beneath the red clay? How many bones has this soil devoured? Feel the presence of this place. This is the spirit of the land. While few speak of the spirit as having form, it is likely to appear as an animal, a cluster of summer gnats in the sunlight, or a whisper on the breeze. Those with the sight are more inclined to see them. Some have reported the spirit of the land in the trees themselves and is a simple voice that speaks from an unknown source, while others say it takes the form of giants that make their residence in the mountain tops or the rocks by the river. Many of them are left without a name because, much like this work, they're too old for those things or anyone living today. When you find your roots are nourished, give an offering to the land. The Cherokee gave corn, tobacco, and blood. The Irish gave bread, butter, and sweet things. Today's Appalachian workers give tobacco, food, hard candy, whiskey, coins, and an old cheap jewelry. Sit with the land and feel your surroundings. Walk about and familiarize yourself with the hills and rocks and trees. Don't expect them to be accepting of you right away, or at all, really. As with any other friendship, it takes time to become familiar with each other, and sometimes it will never grow. Some of these land spirits simply wish to be left alone and unbothered by humans. Who could blame them after the blood-drenched history they have witnessed in these hills? The spirit of a place is simply someone who has taken up residence on that land, meaning it could be a little person or a haint, or it could simply be made of the events that occurred there. For example, a bridge known for suicides wouldn't be a good place to start, as it would contain the spiritual traits of its distinguished events. It will take many times of showing up, giving an offering, and simply presenting yourself before any presents will be shown. I'm going to take a break here. While I'm not technically in Appalachia, I'm right on the estuary, technically. I'm close to the ocean, to the water. And there is this patch where it's a creek, right? And it's got a nice shore, and that place talks to me, and it's not anti-people, like there's no hate, but it's hurt, and it's like you're not gonna hurt me too, are you? So I come with offerings, and I come with a trash bag so I can clean up the area, because people like to leave their trash there. And there's like this lovely spot on the other side of the creek where I want to set up a shrine. To the spirit of the river. So is there a place where you guys go where maybe you feel a connection to the land? I know many of you aren't exactly like outdoorsy people, but I don't consider myself outdoorsy either, but every once in a while I do get out. Hillbilly entomology and history. Hillbilly wiki. Here, I'll share the screen. Do I have the thing open? I do. All right, so Appalachian Mountains were settled in the 18th century, primarily from England, Lowland, Scotland, and the province of Ulster, Ireland. Settlers were mainly Protestants who migrated to Ireland from Scotland and North England during the plantation of Ulster in the 17th century. Many further migrated to the American colonies beginning in the 1730s, and in America became known as the Scots-Irish. Yep. hillfolk, and a billy meaning companion, suggested that hillfolk and billy were combined with the Cameronians, the name given to a radical faction of Scottish Covenanters. Fled to the hills of southern Scotland. Yeah, I went to a museum that talked about this, the Williamite. And then the whole thing with the fat Hetfields and McCoys. Yeah. Which, if you're unfamiliar, it was a rather bloody feud between two families, which is hilarious because I think they technically shared some relatives, but they're so violent. And then popular culture, music is a big deal. Music is a huge deal. The further west you go in Virginia, the more bluegrass and how do I describe it? It's like folk music, right? It's not country. It's not yeah, they have like bluegrass competitions and stuff, sure, but generally, if they're just sitting on the porch doing noodling around, it's like folk music. Cultural implications. Culturally transmitted traumatic stress syndrome. Hillbilly now has become part of the Appalachian identity, and some Appalachians feel constantly defending themselves against this image. Yeah. That is true. War on poverty. Grassroots movements. Yeah. And then this, I'm actually familiar with this. Each year, over 100,000 people come to Kentucky to probably keep that city afloat. What is hillbilly armor? Oh, improvised vehicle armor, which is like zombie preparedness stuff now. I know a couple of people out in the mountains who do that. Zombie preparedness tanks, basically. Woodpecker, yeah. But it was a an ethnic slur embraced by prison gangs. So that's a thing. Oh, weird. Oh, apparently it can, the stereotypes span all over, not just in the Appalachians. Redneck, hillbilly. A little bit of entomology. Etymology. Yeah, all right. So that's a thing. Oh, I have to scroll up. I settled in Chicago. Oregon mountains, especially Ebel Creek. It's difficult to explain, but my spirit feels more at home here. The connection of body and spirit more intense than I've felt anywhere else. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I feel that I felt the wonder at Lake Tahoe, but I don't know if I was there long. If I was like, if I spend enough time actually like tapping in to actually hear them, hear those mountains. They're so big and old that I don't know that they're going to hear what I'm saying. And I've been all over these mountains in my lifetime so far. That's lovely, Christina. Gramps was a Druid priestess, and Gramps was a Protestant. My other set of grandparents left with them were Protestant as well. I was raised with Gramps traditions, and the rest of my older siblings were raised on the Protestant side, and they're 15 years older than me. Used to enjoy finding little secret bases as a kid. Old sheds, rock formations, alcoves by water turbines, a smelting factory ruin that was torn apart in World War II, so the Germans wouldn't be able to use it. Don't really have any such cozy places to go to where I live currently. All those places I think of as like they all have spirit, right? And they all have, and a lot of times their spirit is very vocal. If family is literally from Pikeville, so you are probably familiar with this hillbilly festival, Greasy Creek. Yeah, he tries not to laugh. It's okay, you could totally laugh. I've been there a few times and it was definitely chuckle worthy. My backyard opens up to a park called Optimist Park. It has another name that pulls up on the map but that is what the name on the sign says. As long as I can be within the trees, I'm good. That's nice. It's quite lovely, in fact. So this is why hillbilly and Irish conjure is so similar. They're branches of the same tree. My favorite city in Sweden is Pickalampanapi. I only ever passed it by on my way to a Finland cruise. My dad's family's from Appalachia, Virginia. Also, hi, Jenny. Heyo. Good stuff. Good stuff. I have intention of wrapping up by 11 so that I can hang out on, or I can hang out at Lisa's stream, providing she's streaming today. I don't know if she is or not. She's been canceling lately. No, it demands to be pronounced in a silly way. Picalampinopi. Picalampinopi. Or inopi. I don't know. I don't know where the emphasis is supposed to go on what syllable. I don't know. I don't know. Perfect finish. It's funny. Oh, I'm out of coffee. All right. Quick break while I get more coffee. I'm on Leah's stream right now. Jumped over to check out what you were doing. You were in the middle of a sprint, so it's safe for me to say hi. Lol. Nice. Lovely to have you. My cat is exactly where I would usually leave through. All right. Here I go. Coffee is going to be a thing. I guess we don't need this wiki anymore. You two are out of coffee? All right, let's do a thing. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, 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 ba-da-da-da, dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. All right. a full cup of coffee. Supposed to have 6 inches of snow by tomorrow night. Oh my God. So early. The thought is enough. Oh, yay, coffee. Now I have to wait for it to be cool enough to drink. Buddhist, I have like a collection of Buddhist bookmarks, and they got like quotes from the Gosho on them. Ba-da-da, ba-da-da. Yeah, you bet. All right, where did I leave off? Okay. Yeah, I only read the first sentence and was like, I know a place. I should make another visit there before it gets cold. I think, so they developed the area, but they left that little nook alone. So I'm probably, maybe I'll do that today or tomorrow before I go to Florida. I made like, it's covered in slate. It's tons of slate as the river rocks. And I made a set of witches' runes out of them. Like I collected like 13 pieces and made, with permission, of course. And I made them there, which was fun. Beat me. All right, let's try this again. It will take many times of showing up, giving an offering, and simply presenting yourself before any presents will be shown. I think that's bullshit, but okay. Because not all spirits have your best interest in mind, I'd reckon you ought to carry 3 used horseshoe nails on you, 1 around your neck and 2 under the soles of your shoes. It's quite an odd thing to try and do, but with a handy pocket knife, you can pry the soles up just enough to slide a nail right under it at the heels. It may be a bit uncomfortable, but horses have always been regarded in Appalachia as being able to see and protect from haints. In the spring, take a walk through the woods and note what is growing and flowering. Mostly pokeberries. Place them in a jar of water and set it directly in the sunlight without the lid on. This is sun brew tea, and you can apply it to wounds and aches. Notice the first animals that are aroused by the warming weather. So sun brew, we used to do a mix of black tea and mint because we've got spearmint growing like crazy in the front yard. Hey, Adrian, how's it going? How you doing, hun? Listening to you read this is like having a conversation with my granny. I was raised on this stuff. That's amazing. My family is not from here, so I don't have a frame of reference. This is all Greek to me. My paradigm is quite different. But I figure if I'm here, then Might as well speak the language, right? It's your birthday! It's your birthday! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Birthday, 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 birthday. Birthday, 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 birthday. Birthday, birthday, birthday. Hold on, I got a birthday thing for you. Birthday, birthday. Let me see if I can find it. I'm trying to remember his name. Oh well. I'll do something better. Sing you a birthday song. I will sing you a birthday song. Escape the Womb Day. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is literally the root of my craft. That's awesome. Happy birthday. And also, congrats on the 100 subs. And yes, of course you could steal the show. Of course. Okay, so here we go. Death, destruction, and despair, people dying everywhere. Happy birthday, happy birthday. I love children, yes I do, baked or broiled in a stew. Happy birthday, happy birthday. May the candles on your cake burn like cities in your wake. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Tanjoubi omedetou gozaimasu. That's how you would say it in Japanese. All the claps in the chat. Happy birthday, Adrian. Oh, coffee, just plug it to my veins, for real. Just plug it to my veins. May the candles on your cake burn like cities in your wake is my new toast. My favorite toast is here, and everybody says it, like if you, as many people as you can get to say it at the same time is best. But here's to you, and here's to me, and here's to friends will always be. And if we ever disagree, then fuck you, and here's to me. It's a tradition amongst friends of my husband. So every New Year's you get like 50 or 80 people like all saying this cheers at midnight. I don't know what's going on for like New Year's and stuff. Our Christmases are usually pretty chill, but our New Year's are pretty up there. That is Mine is there are ships that are made of wood and some that sail the sea, but the ships are French. So the best ships are friendships. So here's to you and me. That's like SpongeBob level of adorable. No, you're awesome. Oh, you're at the dock with your son while watching this. That's really sweet. Oh, it's super sweet. We'll keep you entertained. We'll keep you entertained. La 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 la. I'm SpongeBob level everything. Fight me. No, there's no fighting. I like the fun song, especially how Plankton sings it. F is for fire that burns down the whole town. U is for uranium bombs. N is for no survivors. Up. All right, be back next sprint. Okay. Oh, it's Jenny speaking to my soul. Oh. Question is, oh, I was talking about sun tea. Yeah. I'm from Minnesota. We say ope all the time. I wonder if I can get my head shaved today or tomorrow. Probably better off tomorrow. So that I am fresh for the party and the performance thing. Because it's starting to make my head look a little poofy. And I don't want to start pulling at it. That would be unfortunate. You'll begin to notice the wave created by the life of the forest. In early spring, the first vegetated life returns at the forest floor, and this growth moves upward, from the bloodroot to the honeysuckle bush, from the vines into the trees. In summer, the leaves come to fruition, and the flesh of the mountain covers the bones of yesteryear. When fall approaches, life retreats, starting in the treetops and exceeding at the forest floor. The mountain spirit moves through the migration and stillness of the animals and through these cycles. Geese fly north, bears emerge from old caves, and salamanders make their voyage to the water. Appalachia is continuously alive, continuously surviving and struggling and triumphing. In the fall, walk amongst the fodder of dead corn and pick up the silk. These precious hairs, as Nana calls them, help women with bloating. Really. From children, it makes great tea to help with bedwetting. Simply wrap a bundle of silk in a coffee filter and steep in barely boiling water for about 5 minutes. Making tea out of dead silk, corn silk. That's interesting. Granted, I don't live near a cornfield, and I don't suspect I would want to do that with stuff I buy from the store. I don't think so. The fodder of the corn stalks is placed about the home so that family will always have food. Radishes and pumpkins are set on the porch, carved to keep haints away. The forests are on fire with colors of gold and red. It's time to dig the roots and ground crops before the first moon of October so they don't rot. Now, the first moon of October was the 1st of October. So that was rough for the first moon of October people. But it is when you are done pulling the roots, cutting the fodder, and rending the loins from the iron trellises, covered in scrapes and itching skin, and you feel the land within you. It is when your hair is drenched with sweat and the sun is beating down on your back, and you feel the sting and the pride of your ancestors rising in your own skin from the same hard work. I guess if my family were here. But it is when you are done pulling, in the winter, find your solace in the coyote howls and warmth in a big cup of coffee while watching the cardinals pick away the seeds left from the season's sunflowers. Blue jays, cardinals, and blackbirds are just about the only ones left to brave the mountain winters. Yeah, cardinal specifically is a winter bird. And also the state bird of the state of Virginia. So they're a breed where the brighter the red, the more virile of a male they are. The females are still red, but it's kind of like a dried blood sort of color. Blue jays, cardinals, and blackbirds are just about the only ones left to brave the mountain winters. The only food in storage is cabbage, beans, and canned whatnots from the last harvest. A blanket of snow has covered everything from the previous year, and soon we forget what the sun feels like until spring. When the warmth returns, when the blood of beasts begins to rush again, go down to the river and pray. The mountain has awoken. The trees begin their upward triumph into greenery, and another year of work has begun. The Cherokee believed that every animal was our brother or sister, and that God gave us plant medicines to help us care for our bodies and our spirits. Many families here continue to hold this worldview. Since Appalachia is one of the most biodiverse regions in the country, with over 10,000 species of animal and plants recorded so far, it's natural that the mountain critters and foliage would have a strong influence on the mind, faith, and medicine here. Let me also mention they're often called redbirds rather than cardinals in Appalachia. Well, I mean, they are redbirds. That's just like saying that bird is red. Red bird. Many people I know start picking dandelions in the spring when they first arise to make them into jams, while others wait for the autumn elderberries to turn into the dark berries elderberries to turn the dark berries into syrups and drink. I pick cattail root throughout the year for wounds, burns, stings, and toothache. Before making any kind of remedy, Nana always made sure the Lord was involved through reciting either one of these two psalms. O Lord my God, I cried unto thee, and thou hast healed me, which is Psalm 30-2. And I waited patiently for the Lord, and he inclined unto me and heard my cry. Psalm 41. She'd also say she was grateful the corn grew mighty high this year. Food was an important thing in our home, and many superstitions arose around it in the kitchen. Women who are on their flow or in menopause weren't supposed to cook certain things aside from good meat and broth. Otherwise, they'd spoil the food and it wouldn't turn out. That is bull. That is bull. Becoming familiar with the land one resides on also entails learning about it. Study the indigenous herbs, trees, and animals that are scattered throughout these hills. Learn their medicine to use them safely in remedies. Don't learn just through books either. Grow and harvest plants yourself or find them out in the woods and fields. Grind their sticks and roots with a grindstone or mortar and pestle to see them transform into medicine. Speak with your elders about how they worked and healed through the land. They have witnessed the turn of many seasons and are a valuable source of wisdom. That would be if my family was from here. My mother could give me things about Pennsylvania Dutch stuff, like the hex barns and stuff like that. Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries. And then my cat purrs. And then my cat purrs. All right, my brain is the thing. My brain is the thing. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the thing today. Also, happy birthday to Adrian. And I will probably hop over to the Discord and smoke a cigarette. And then I will do sprints I'll be hanging out in the chat at Lisa's thing, providing Lisa's thing is a thingy. Let me double check. Yes, she is doing the thing today. Okay, good. Oops. I accidentally wrote the word wood. I accidentally wrote wood. All right. Thank you all for joining me. I was not caught up in the live chat. Anyway, everybody have a great day. Yay! I'll catch you guys on the flip side.